you like saving money, this project is going to be for you. Today we're going to make a leather belt from scratch. If you're sick and tired of buying belts for $20, $30 that a year later they're peeling and they break because they're only made out of like cardboard in the center, then watch this video. It is so simple, so easy, with minimum tools. All you need is your leather belt, about 60 inches long, 1.5 inches wide. You need your old belt buckle, and you need a couple rivets. And the tools is a punch, a hammer, a straight edge, and a sharp knife. Let's get to it. So what I'm doing is I'm making a belt. I got a good deal on some leather down in somewhere in California. So what you do first is take your punch and you measure it. Now, I'll tell you what measurement I have, what usually works for me. So I'll come down about 2¼ inches from the whatever end you're going to use. Now, on this leather, it's a little thinner on this end. So I'm going to cut that in, right? And use this end for the buckle. So when I comes down about 2¼ and you punch a hole in the center, and I usually go about 1½ inches for the slot, right? So you'll come down in the center 2¼ punch a hole with your little small leather punch, and then come down 1½ inches from that hole, punch another hole. And then you just take a ruler, put it down, and line up the 2 holes and cut out this section, because that is going to be for your buckle, whatever buckle you want to use. This is the whatever you call that, the tongue or the latch or whatever it is on your buckle. So that's the first step. So now you want to take your buckle and figure out how it goes. So this is what you're going to tie around. It goes like that, and then this like this. So you bend it and then put your thing up through, and it'll be like that. Right, now this is going to be bent over because you're going to put your, it's going to be a little stiff at first, but so that's going to work out okay. I got enough room to put 2 holes for my, not sure what one I got to use yet. The thicker your belt, because you're doubling it up, the longer you'll need your post. But so now you see how I did that, right? You got your slot. This is for this to move in and out so you can put your belt on. So you double it over. I think I got that right. Yeah. And wait now. So you're going to come around. You got that around. Yeah. So the good part of the belt is on the right side. You can make that mistake, right? Because if I had this flip like that, the ugly side of the leather would be facing out. You don't want that. So just double check. You're going to be putting it on like that, right? Once you get it size. So that should work just fine. Now, before you put your holes in for this, we need to have a loop. You got to have a loop here so that you can tuck in the end of your belt. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to cut off it is, but it's not for me, it's for a customer. So I'm going to cut off at least, yeah, I'll cut off at least, because he's a bigger boy than I am. So I'll cut off 3 inches. And that would still give me lots, I think. Oh yeah, that'll give me lots. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free. Give a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. So I've got 3 inches off. Right there. Square it up the best you can. Now, didn't have enough to make the loop. So I'm going to go and see what leather scraps I got. You hold on. Let's see what leather we got. Now, let's see. Let's see. What kind? I don't even remember what I got. Oh yeah, I got some leftover stuff from the keychains. But this is not, don't matter that it's not the same color. I'm not too worried about that. The guy isn't either, because it's not for a suit. He just wants it for work. But he wants good quality. Well, yeah, I might. All right, let's try that. It's only for the loop. And I think that'll be just fine. But I'm all out of leather rivets. So I think I could just leather glue and sew that. You don't need to see me doing that. I'm just going to sew this up with some leather thread. So now I got that. It took a couple minutes. Like I said, normally I would just fold it over and put in the leather rivets. I don't have any, so I'm just, and like I said, the guy's not worried about it, so he don't care. As long as it's a good quality belt, like I said, that's all that matters. So put that in there. Come on. Like that. Like this. And that's enough room to get your belt in there. So now, throw that on the floor. So the part that I threaded, you want that in between the two. Makes sense, right? So you're going to have that there. Something like that. This is good. This is good. So now we're going to put a hole right about there. All right. There's a little block of wood. So that's going to be about right. You want it in the center. That's that hole. Go through the process again, putting this in, and like that. Good. I think I'll go like that. Right there. Do. Blinds a bat, man. Blinds a bat. Where? Oh, it's behind the hammer. So I'm just marking the other side. Okay, so you got your two holes. Now we shall put the rivet in, or the post, whatever they calls it. Now I'm going to have to see what size would this fit. You want the nice part, shine it out, so you put that there, and you'll put that right there. You got to fight with it sometimes, and you'll get this piece in there, and screwdriver. Okay. Screw it all the way in. You can feel this one move. Put it down like that. Try and so that's in there. Then you put this on. Like that. Move that down as close to that rivet, because that'll keep it tight and it won't come out, even though it's just threaded. Yeah. So that there. And then you need one. Let's do it this side here. You will need one right you're not worried about looks, you know, if you're making a dress belt, fine. But if you're not too worried about that, then it's pretty easy. Especially if you can get a good deal on leather. I mean, you can't go wrong. But leather one time used to be a lot cheaper than what it is now. But if you can get a good deal, it certainly is worth doing your own, no doubt about it. Sometimes it's difficult to get these in there. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I just forcing that piece in the hole. Now you got to fold this over. And yeah, should have used the longer one, I think. Okay, so these two should be good enough. All right. When the leather starts to supple up, I think she'll be just fine. So, like I said, you would normally have this the same as the belt, right? And now that's good. So now you just got to determine where to put your holes for your fat gut. So you just, well, put the holes wherever you need them, right? And that, folks, and then if you cut off whatever length of belt that you don't need, right? Because you want enough so that, if I could just buckle that, right? You got this through, right? Say that's around your waist the way you want it. You don't want, now I have enough, I always turn it in on itself like this. I don't know, it's just something that I did when I was very young. And I just tucks it in like that. And but you may only want it to come out this far, right? And that's fine. And then you take your scissors and you just round this off. Nice round radius. And you're done after you get the holes put in. So, folks, that's how easy it is to make your own belt. If you can get a good deal on leather, which this was, I think, this was 60 inches. It's real leather. It's not bonded leather. It's not layered leather. Well, bonded leather, you can argue. People start arguing bonded leather is real, but it's pieces glued together. Layered, same idea. This here is not. This here is, you know, leather. Okay, but it's pure, if you ought to say it that way. So if you can get, you know, this was 60 inches. The guy cut 60 inches, right? And it's a typical belt. It's not a dress belt, so it should be about, yeah, it's not quite 1.5 inches, right? Wide. Now, this cost $12. I have never seen this for $12. In Canada, the cheapest I've seen it, now I haven't went to Tanner's. I don't know if there is even any on the island, but it's usually $30. That's what I priced it last. So now, so what do you need? You need your post. If you got really thick leather, you may want your bigger posts, right? It's just, I'll show you. I'm sure you already know, but I'll show you anyway. And this is the screw part. with a slot for your screwdriver. This is the nice shiny part. You can get them different colors and stuff. And that screws in here. So you put that through your leather, put this through your leather, made them up, screw it in nice and tight. And there you go. So folks, that's well, all you need. You'll need some sort of punch. You can do it without a punch, but it's nice to have a punch so that you can make nice round holes. When you drill it and stuff, it's not that nice. But yeah, and that belt will last forever. Forever, ever, 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 ever. There's no way you can ruin this belt. I can't see anybody ruining this belt. The cheap $5 belts, $10 belts, imitation leather, and all these other things, and synthetic. Yeah, I've went through so many of them over the years, but with this, you're not going to wear this out. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. If this is interesting to you, let me know in the comments, and subscribe, share the video, whatever, if you think it's worthy enough. If someone as, redneck as I am. So that's how easy it is to make a belt. And I hope that you come back for the next one. Thanks, guys.